Hi, dear students. Have a nice morning to you all. Have you seen the video clip? Is there any guess? After a journey in the sea, in our last chapter, the tsunami, today I am going to take you into the skies. In our next poem, Geography Lesson. Before getting to the poem, let's see about the author. Geography Lesson by Gulfigar Ghosh. He grew up in a Muslim family in Sialkot in the Punjab province. His father, Hawaz Muhammad Ghosh, was a businessman, and all the family together, they moved to Mumbai during the Second World War in 1942. After the partition of British India into Pakistan and the present India, Ghosh and his family emigrated to England. He graduated from Keele University in 1959 and taught at Ealing Maid School in London. As I told you, he was born on March 13th, 1935 in Sialkot, India. Now it is Pakistan. He was the Pakistani American author. He was written so many novels, poetries and critical essays. This was about the author Zulfikar Ghosh. In this poem, we are going to see and talk about the airplane journey with the poet Zulfikar Ghosh. The poem Geography Lesson is all about his feelings. When he sat in an airplane and he looked down on the earth and he realized how the earth has changed in its form as he was going higher and higher, how the cities look like, how the entire valleys and the populated areas look like. At last, altogether, how the earth looked like. But in the last paragraph of this poem, he has a question which he does not understand. So let's read the poem and see to it. Before getting to the poem, let's see the warm-up area from your textbook. Can you imagine what your city would look like if you saw it from 10,000 feet above the ground? Neatly planned and perfect in proportion, like a geometric design. It would strike you as something very different from what it actually is while you are in a thick of it. Here is the poet's description of just such a view of the city and some question that come to his mind. At the first stanza of the poem, what the jet sprang into the sky. It was clearly why the city had developed the way it had. Seeing it scaled 6 inches to the mile, there seemed an inevitability about what on ground had looked haphazard, unplanned and without style, when the jet sprang into the sky. Let's start the explanation of the first stanza. Here the poet says that when the jet sprang into the sky. What is meant by sprang? The second form of spring is called sprang. What is by second form? The past tense form of spring is called sprang. Here it means lifted off. The flight lifted off into the sky. It was clear the poet understood why the city had developed the way it had, because everything looked so small that a mile seemed to be like 6 inches. Look at the picture that has been shown here. Here you can see that the picture and the city scaled 6 inches to the mile. So see the picture. everything seems to be very small. That's what the poet explained here. Everything looks very small from above. That is, while the author flew in the air, he just looked down 6 inches under the earth. Everything looks very small from the aeroplane. It seemed very small from 6 inches fly above in the sky. He looks very small, thinks very small. That is what the author explained here. Then it becomes inevitable. Inevitable means unavoidable, that everything developed unplanned. What is meant by unplanned? Haphazard. Haphazard, here the word is given haphazard. Haphazard means unplanned and without style. So here the author explaining that while he was flying over 6 inches above the earth, he looked down and he observed the earth's surface, and he thought that it was very unplanned and it was looking like haphazard, without style and without any principle of organization on the earth, that is ground. The poet repeats the first line again. When the jet sprang into the sky, he saw all that when he just flying over in the aeroplane and he was in the air now. That's all from the first stanza. Let's see the second stanza now. When the jet reached 10,000 feet. So in the first stanza, the author reached just 6 miles away from the earth's surface, and he told that all the things, they were looked very small. Here in the second stanza, he reached 10,000 feet. So in this poem, it has 3 stanzas, and all the 3 stanzas has been divided as 3 parts, as 3 heights that the aeroplane traveled in the sky, and it was about to steady the earth. On reaching each stage, soaring higher and higher, the poet in the plane learned new facts about the earth. So here the author reached 10,000 feet in the second stanza, and it was clear why the country had cities where the rivers ran and why the valleys were populated. The logic of geography that land and water attracted man was clearly delineated when the jet reached 10,000 feet. Let's see the explanation of the second stanza. Here the poet says that the aeroplane reached 10,000 feet in the sky. The poet came to know why the cities of countries were located near the rivers and the valleys are so populated. Here the poet provides, and he understood the logic of geography here, the reason which is clearly delineated. Delineated means depicted, that is showed here, the reason that made the people settled in an unorganized way, that is unplanned. The earth looks haphazard, as I told you. It is looked unplanned, unorganized way. The world and the earth looks unorganized, looked in a unorganized way. Why? Because the logic of the geography, he understood from the logic of the geography that according to him, land and water, which are the lifeline and the reason for our survival, that is, the humans are attracted towards the land and water. So they need land and water to survive. So they attracted towards the land and water where they are. So near to the valleys, near the rivers, it is so populated and looks, and the area looked haphazard. It looked in an unorganized way. This is the logic of geography that he understood, that he clearly delineated, that is, he clearly depicted, came to know from the logic of geography is that people are attracted towards the land and water. So, according to him, land and water, which are the lifeline, that is the important thing for the human being, that is the land and water, and the reason for our survival attract the early human beings. And the land here refers to the green land on which it was the aeroplane reached. Like the previous stanza, the poet repeats the line, when the jet reached 10,000 feet, to tell that he came to know about all this only when the aeroplane was 10,000 feet up in the sky. He could see the land and water, and he could understand about the logic of geography from the feet up to 10,000 feet from the earth surface. So we have completed the first and second stanza of the geography lesson poem. So this was the third stanza. In the first stanza, the author reached just 6 inches away from the earth. Second stanza, there he reached 10,000 feet above the earth. Here in the third stanza, he reached 6 miles away from the earth. So let's see. When the jet rose 6 miles high, it was clear the earth was round and that it had more sea than land. But it was difficult to understand that the men on the earth found causes to hate each other, to build walls across cities, and to kill. From that height, it was not clear why. This was the question and a doubt for the author that he couldn't understand at last. Let's start the explanation of the third stanza. In the third part, the poet says that the aeroplane reached 6 miles high, that is too high from the earth's surface, and there he became clear that the earth was round and that it has more sea than land. Here it means the earth was surrounded by water. 75% of water has been covered in the earth's surface. Only limited land areas were there. So he finally understood that the earth was round in shape and it has more sea area than the land area. While the author going higher and higher above the sky in the aeroplane, he could understand the cities looking haphazard. Cities are looking haphazard, and he could understand the logic of geography, that why the people had populated only near the river where the land was good and fertile. And also he could understand that the earth was round and there was more water than land. But one thing he never understood was also, which was difficult to understand, was that why the men on the earth had always found a reason to hate each other, and why the men on the world had built walls across the cities. Here, walls refers to the boundaries and the borders of the city, and the boundaries are secured and protected by the gods. And he could not understand this was why the men had no reason to kill each other. From the aeroplane, from that height, he could understand these things, but this particular thing wasn't clear to him. He couldn't reason it that why this is happen in the lives of the people. At last the author conveys a message to the people of the world is that let us learn lesson from the nature's delineation, and let's take a pledge. Let us turn ambassadors of peace and harmony. Mother Earth wants harmony, and as one world we can make it possible. So from the people of the earth, the author expects harmony, peace among the people. Let's see the poetical device of the poem. First, let's see the rhyming scheme of the poem. Sky, city, had, mile, inevitability, haphazard, style and sky. So sky and sky A, city B, inevitability B, had C, haphazard C, mile D, style D. So sky and sky is a rhyming word, city inevitability is a rhyming word, had and haphazard is a rhyming word, mile and style is a rhyming word. So the rhyming scheme is A B C D, B C D A. This is the rhyming scheme of the poem. Let's see the next poetical device is that repetition. Repetition here, when the jet sprang into the sky, first line, it was repeated again here in the 8th line. So repetition was used in the poem. The next last poetical device was that enjambment. Enjambment means it's a continuation of same sentence that has been in the next line again without any full stop. If it is continued as a second line in the poetry as a poetry line, then it is called as enjambment. Here second and third line we can see the poetical device enjambment, and 1 2 3 4 5 6th and 7th line we have enjambment here. So these are the three literary devices, so poetical devices were there. So one is rhyming scheme, repetition, enjambment as I told you, and at last alliteration. Here the same consonant letter S has been used again in the same line. Seeing, scaled, 6. So here alliteration was used. So that's all from the poetical device from the poem. That's all from the poem Geography Lesson by Gulfikar Ghosh. Thank you one and all.